What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a lovely time. My name is Ethan. I go by Lord Thethan. I'm a 6-year Overwatch collegiate varsity coach, and today we're going to be taking a look at some Roadhog gameplay. This is actually Platinum Diamond Roadhog, basically OTP gameplay from our resident Roadhog hero, Road Hero, if you will, called One Hook Wonder, aka Loyalty. They mention, I can play other tanks okay, I just want help with positioning or surviving. Sometimes I feel I'm not enough to carry the team to a win. And yeah, this is a really good way to feel, actually, because, oftentimes carrying an Overwatch is just something that's so incredibly difficult, and honestly, at certain points, really tedious as well. So finding ways to at least make it easier on ourselves, or ways to make it easier on our team, and we're going to be able to generate some really good ones from this VOD. First off, we want to be mindful of where we're starting these positions. What we're going to end up seeing here is a really nice hook onto the cat there, but then we are forced off of this angle here, turn onto the Vendetta, and look at where we end up, right back in front of the tank, one of our bad matchups with a low breather. Our whole team is standing main as well, so this is an opportunity that we could use to lead our team away from some of where all of this damage is being concentrated. If we were to zoom out to the overhead right now, we would see two what I call straight line formations, which is all of them looking at all of us. And instead, what I have our One Hook Wonder hero do here is navigate to the left or the right side, the elephant or somewhere where there's a mega. If Overwatch 2 boils down to two principles, those are timing and map control, then this is a very difficult section of the map to control from this particular composition as this particular character. Roadhog is going to struggle into the Vendetta, who can block, the Orisa, who has endless cooldowns, right, and wants to find hooks onto some of these high-value targets, which we're going to see some really excellent hooks as well. But we find that we aren't moving anywhere on the map until the fight is actually over, and I would have us traversing a lot more of the map a lot earlier on, not only to force them to look in other places than just main, where the rest of our team is, or where there's nowhere for me to run, such as right here, right? Instead, keep going over to that mega. We had already secured a really nice opening pick, and we don't have to fight things out in the middle of the in the middle of a choke point, which is one of the worst positions to generally be in Overwatch as it is, right? Not only that, we want to be closer to our health packs, right? I mentioned map control earlier. Health packs are a really good example of map control, right? So moving to and controlling the spaces where health packs are regenerating so that you can control taking them when you need, and denying them when the enemy does, right, is really valuable. Continue pushing the right side here instead of walking main. Remember, we're in the straight line formation, all of them into all of us, and that means that you are going to be the recipient of all of that damage. I really like the hook there, but you see that we're playing in a position where the Orisa can spear us, so we're kind of playing into the Orisa's rule sets, as I call it here, and it's really unfortunate that we also end up in a position again where if all of them can look at all of us, and really that's going to look like just me because I'm the biggest target on the field, then we're not going to have the opportunity to play into any of this, right? To land our hooks at ranges and onto targets that are really valuable for us to land hooks on. I mean, the advantage that you establish on the Vendetta just by hooking her early on, right? You just want to do it from a position or in a position that the Orisa can't spear you out, and when the Orisa does move on you, a position where the Sombra isn't going to be able to hack you out of a whole hog that you go for. I like the whole hog that you go for here after the Orisa counterplays you and the Mizuki ult goes down. You do have the option to just disengage, go find a health pack, go move over to the left side, find some natural cover to play around, and go from there. But the way that this plays out ends up being perfectly fine. You have some really, really nice hooks, and that's why it's particularly egregious for me to watch you play in positions where either A, the red team can dismantle the play that you want to make off of those hooks, but also where they're going to be able to counterplay the hooks in the first place, right? So either you can't get the picks or you can't land the hook in the first place, right? And that's because we're poking this main angle, right? We haven't at any point tried to kind of peel the team's formation away from this horse by starting on the left or the right side. We're all the way on our side, on our, like the back of the objective over here, lingering towards our steps on the main, but that's not where the health packs are. That's where our team is, so we're kind of leading them to our team. That's not where our natural cover is. We weren't playing in a position at any point this life where we were only lookable or only able to be looked at by one person. And so that means that we end up, it's just disproportionate, the amount of damage that we're going to end up taking. It's going to be the kind of damage that keeps our hog heroes from being able to play that they want, right? So wandering away from health packs is going to be a really great recipe for not being able to play tank the way that you want to. I do really like that when you have your ult, you're using it, which is a really, really important principle. Don't ever let go of that. You have to ult when you have to ult when you have it. If you can't ult when you have it, find a reason to use it. If you can't find a reason to use it, then make one, right? But starting fights on the main angle, or even fights where you're visible, scoutable, markable, damageable, whatever term you want to use, right? Instead of on off angles or positions where basically what you want to do is make it to where they have to move the hog before moving to point, right? Because moving the hog is very difficult, but it's not as hard to shoot the hog when we're all on the objective and when his team is all over the place, right? Easier for, or better for my Roadhog to seek to, again, start off on the side, try to hook someone away from the Orisa, and then the Orisa has to turn and not play the objective. On the D.Va here, the operation is going to be everywhere, all at once, at all times, and we've been in the same spot for far too long, right? So jumping past them, all the way past them, and going to the Mega Pack on the other side so that we force them to turn around, right? If they are all turned around looking at me as I take the Mega, not only is the Mega Pack really valuable to myself, who has taken all of this damage, but then also we draw aggro. If they're all shooting at me, they're not shooting at my team, right? Who needs to move in. So I have an expression called "It's always better in than out," and so the further in you can go, the earlier you can, is generally going to be better. You don't want to be in unsafely, right? You want to be in safe, smart positions where, again, you're not as easily damageable, not as easily scoutable. And I really like that we see a booster here on the left side, but we don't end up going up on the high ground, right? We end up back here main, DMing damage that doesn't really help our team, taking damage that we really can't DM, and then ultimately ending up getting demacked. So really unfortunate. It's easy to feel compelled like we should be stacking on top of our team and helping guide them through the choke, but at the end of the day, your Zenyatta doesn't need you to move through the choke before he does, right? What your Zenyatta needs is for the choke to be empty, for him to be able to move through it, all right? And the best way to empty up the choke is to pop up behind them, say, "Hello, look at me, I'm back here," and then watch all of red team turn around, chase you onto their side of the map, their side of the objective, away from you guys' choke, so that then your Zenyatta can move in. You, this whole time, are not taking damage or looking to take duels that you can't justify. Very nice rock, by the way. I like the Sigma swap, but what you... Oh, nice eat on the nade cast, I think is what we saw there as well. What you really want to be doing here is moving forward. It's always better in than out, right? As you guys move forward, Ana has to move backwards, Orisa has to give space. Eventually, you guys are led to the objective, right? So understand that this is an outcome that you guys can make happen even sooner by playing positions that help you get in that maybe aren't as difficult to take as that main choke point, right? You have to go through a lot of damage there, which is why I really liked that booster onto the D.Va on the left side. Now, if you are going to play this choke point, then playing a character like Sigma, who can mitigate all that damage that's going to be concentrated on that position, is a really good call. And you have some really excellent plays there that you make on the Sigma. Be careful. Now you've seen the Mei, so you don't want to get walled off here, and you definitely don't want to charge the Venture stacks, right, by taking her slashes early on, right? You don't want to get walled off here, and you want to save that rock, right, for anyone but the horse who has a lot of options against you. If you have it, use it, and so after the Orisa has used gold is a really excellent time to go for the Gravitic Flux cast, which is really fantastic. Let your shield charge, though, and when you're winding up that rock, make sure that you're doing so on the basis of scouting info. Who do I see? What do I see them doing? That I can use the rock, or do normal hyperspheres suffice? If you're using your abilities before understanding what you want to use your abilities on, then it's not necessarily about wasting your cooldowns, it's just about getting all the value that you can, because the name of the game is to build your ult as quickly as possible. I really like that you're using your ult when you have it. So make sure as well that you're playing corners to help you play angles. There's a lot of distance. We get the right idea to kind of like start moving up and denying the space that they have to work with here, right? But you're reflexively, what I found looking at this before recording was that you're reflexively like playing 20 meters away from them, when actually you have a lot of space that you can possibly deny them from even walking through, right? And part of the reason that we don't actually even end up with the opportunity to control the space is because because we don't start on the high ground position. We were on that low ground choke point for an incredibly long time. You can go back in the video while I was yapping about other things to take a look. I think I was talking about the Sigma Rock. But we were on that low ground choke point for a very, very long time, and the best place to get the info that we need to start as forward as we can, or to have the info that we need to understand that we need to get out of a position, out of a forward spot, is going to be on the high ground, right? So starting on that gives you guys the most options for that fight. You don't have to back up as far, and you don't have to lose this objective as hard as you do as early on, which helps you build a little bit of point progress and hopefully a couple of other ultimates that help you keep it. Make sure that you're playing high ground just by default, right? And make sure that also you're always going in. And always going in doesn't mean that you're just running it down main without your team. It means you're looking around before the fight begins, making sure that your team are in positions that by the time you end up in your next position, they will have moved to their next positions. And then from there, you're looking to engage on the Roadhog, off-angling on the Diva, pushing all the way in through the choke as Sigma, or starting the high ground so that you can really stuff yourself in the positions that they want to control. Are all really good approaches. But again, you want to do those from angles that you won't be as susceptible to really lethal, egregious instances or amounts of damage. Play those health packs, those timers, and don't be compelled to play on top of your team to clear space for them. Clear space for your team by playing angles that force the enemy team to look at you, where looking at you means that they aren't looking at the rest of your team with you as well. Guys, this was some Platinum Diamond Roadhog gameplay from One Hook Wonder, aka Loyalty. A huge shout out goes out to them for being willing to have their replay observed on the channel. If you guys found the content entertaining or enjoyable, can you guys notice we got the classical music back? That's actually here to stay probably. Then be sure to leave a like or a comment if you guys have any positively oriented feedback, or of course questions on any of the material that we covered. There's a lot that we didn't look at here, and part of the reason for that is just that we're going to go into a style where the length of the video is about the length of the VOD. If we want to do full length content, then that's eventually, or rather soon, going to be kind of a premium coaching service that certain players will have the opportunity to opt into. Stay with us, guys. Huge things are planned for the channel. It's going to be a slow crawl, and as we go on, more and more Overwatch coaching, more and more personality, and hopefully some streams as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Be good to each other. Be fair to yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time.